Hello, it is April 10th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday puzzle today, so a very large grid, which might make for a long solve. That is how it tends to go on a Sunday. So I hope you're ready for that. This edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to you by Laura Sexton, Alex, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster and the invaluable Timothy Mark. So thank you so much to all four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. And if you'd like to join their ranks and get access to the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve, where you can also find, backing at any level of the Patreon, all of the bonus video solves that have been released to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And yesterday I put up the one-day delayed mini puzzle speed solve. So there has been, I guess, on average, a video a day for the past 3 days between the mini puzzle speed solve, the monthly bonus puzzle for April, and the Boss Words Spring Themeless League competition puzzle. So those are all up there if you're a backer. And if you are, you also get access to that extra channel on the Daily Solve Discord chat server. So, although the rest of the Discord is free for anybody to join. Now, all that being said, let's get on to today's puzzle. It's a Sunday puzzle, of course, so there will be a theme. And it is titled, as only the Sunday puzzles are. This is Ordering Seconds, which already seems like it could be many things. I suspect there will be some sort of punny meaning around this. Maybe the order of something's changed, or some second position of a word. Who knows? There could be any number of things there. And then obviously, at a restaurant, you could order seconds, I suppose. This puzzle was constructed by David W. Tufts, who has constructed a small handful of puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So, shall we get started? I think we shall. Let's go. Wow, look at all these highlighted cells. Interesting. So we'll be spelling words in these, perhaps. We'll just have to see. So, here, what if I took a guess? What if I said maybe these are compound words or single words that include a second word, and the second word is something that has to do with order or ordering? I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing that just now. Okay, sexy one. A temptress, maybe? I don't know. That's a sort of a stab in the dark. Let's see. March Madness figure. I don't know. The March Hare? Mad Hatter? Something around that. Animals in hibernation. Hibernacion. This would be Spanish. Bears, osos. Is that feminine or masculine, osos? Twitches. Maybe I'll delete that just in case. Twitches. Ticks, maybe? You could have a nervous tick, a nervous twitch. Latin verb, that's a letter off from 9 down. Oh, and language, that's a letter off from 26 across. Okay, could this be essa and this be ers, which is a sort of a Gaelic language? Is that possible? Sage-like could be wise, so that fits. Chuckles online could be LOLs, laughs out loud. Home of many schools in the Big Ten Conference. Out west? That's a ridiculous guess. I have no idea. It doesn't seem like a home, per se. Please, I'll go with you. Take me. How about that? And home of the Hittite Empire, Asia Minor, or Asia Minor, I think. And friend abroad could be ami, as in friend in French. And, okay, right, sexy one. So what is this? Hot tamale. Okay, there we go. So it's slangier than what I was going with. And March Madness figure. Oh, maybe it is the March Hare. That must be. Is that true? What is this? Animals in hibernation. Right. This was osos or osas. Unwavering. Rock solid. Oh, no. Okay. So my guess was pointless, but this looks like rock solid, rock idols. Interesting. Okay. So this is a compound word rock solid would be the answer to this clue. If you're unwavering, you're rock solid. But we're ordering the second word in this compound word, this two-word phrase, and we're reordering it to mean rock idols. Now, what is going on there? Is there some particular reason rock idols is thematically relevant? I suppose we'll have to see. That's interesting. Okay, this is going to be tough because we're not going to, the definition isn't actually going to define the answer. The definition is going to define half of the answer and then the letters we use to make the rest of the answer, but not the answer itself. So home of many schools in the Big Ten Conference. Oh, Midwest, that's better. Why did I think out west? Why was that my first guess? That's strange. Uses chrism on, anoints. So that would be like a holy oil or something, chrism, I think. And demeanor would be your mien, your sort of countenance, I guess. How do you come off? Okay, the third of Chekhov's three sisters. Is this Irina, I think? Let's check the crosses because I'm not 100% confident. Ugh, we have so much to sort out. It's a slog, it's a pain, it's something. It's a something could be plausible. Woman's name that's part of the body backward. Pam would be map backward, but that's not really part of the body. I think when it says the body, it probably means the human body. I'm not sure. Let's come back to it. Outbursts of megalomania. Now these are so strange to solve because I have to think of the appropriate letters for the second half, but it almost certainly won't have the S or the T in these positions. Did this have any of the same letters in the correct position? Rock idols. Rock, S-O-L-I-D. No, it didn't. Every single letter was transposed. That doesn't necessarily mean that will be true in each case, but it's good to note at least. So what's going on here? Blank. Oh no, sorry. It's not blank-esque. It's another suffix. We're looking for another suffix that means esque or similar to something. So ish, I think, would be one. That's, you could say that's Kafka-esque, people often say, referring to the sort of, I don't know, inscrutable kind of bureaucratic, deadening nature of, what Kafka's portraying, and then you could say it's Kafka-ish. You wouldn't say that. You'd say it's greenish if it looks a little green. So they're similar, if you see what I mean, in the suffix, but so I think that's what this wants. Looking for another suffix that sort of means esque. Turning point could be a pivot, so that's could be literally true or metaphorically true. And does that help here? Outbursts of megalomania. Power trips. So power strip would be an anagram of power trips, and T-R-I-P-S. So once again, none of these letters is in its original position with power trips. I had to really think about what that was. Oh, actually, interesting. It's T-R-I-P-S. So the order is the same. We've just transposed the S to the beginning. That wasn't true here, was it? No, that's irrelevant. Okay, just making sure there wasn't a pattern that I wasn't identifying. Oh, Ray would be, here we go, woman's name that's part of the body backwards. So ear, and then the woman's name, Ray, R-A-E. So there we have that. Okay, what about this? Contacts quickly in a way. It could be IMs, maybe instant messages. And, we have so much to sort out. It's a mess. It's a mess. We have so much to sort out. An iota could be a speck, not one iota, not one speck. And they're out on their own. Escapees, perhaps? They've escaped and now they're out on their own. Finished the golf hole could be sank a putt, I would think. Even I have heard of sinking a putt, having never played golf, but it does seem, well, I guess I've played miniature golf or crazy golf, and that's all sinking putts, I suppose. So there we go. One might be cold or dry. You could have a cold spell or a dry spell. And a toy brand with colorful rods and gears. It looks like knee, but I don't think that's true. Rejoice in could be exult in. So this looks like nex. K-N-E-X. Maybe it's connects, like connects, maybe. Heidi of TV's making the cut. It's supposed to be Heidi Klum or Klum. I've heard of this person. I don't really know She does, but I definitely recognize the name. So that must be the answer to here, making the cut. And then feeling described by this. And it's a colon. It's an emoticon, which has been, emoticons have been very much overwritten, I suppose, by emojis. They've been obviated by emojis, but and sometimes people confuse the two words. But emojis are the ones that are little illustrations, and emoticons are the ones that are made out of ordinary punctuation. Anyway, I suppose you would describe this face as meh. G or K? G or K? What are those? Not sure. And what is this? Spectators taking pot shots collectively. The peanut gallery. Peanut allergy. Oh, that's funny. That's very clever. Turning peanut gallery into peanut allergy. That's really good because those are both extremely common phrases, but much more unusual letters than idols or strip. The G and the Y in here. Yeah, turning peanut gallery into peanut allergy is very clever, I think. And actually, in this case, the Y is in the same position, and one of the L's is as well. I don't know why I keep pointing that out. Now that I've started looking at it, I'm compelled to look at it every time. Okay, spat. So this looks like spat as in did spit in the past, but I think it's a spat as in a row, an argument. And former Fed Chair Yellen would be Janet Yellen, chair of the Federal Reserve. And Will Smith's actor/rapper's son, I think Jaden Smith, I think is Will Smith's actor/rapper's son. Debt holdings could be liens. You could have a lien put on a mortgage or something because of lack of payment, so there would be a hold on that debt. Bouts with pay-per-view events for short. Oh, probably MMA, mixed martial arts. I think that's probably the case. And then antiquated source of light. An oil lamp? So in this case, we're turning oil lamp into an oil palm. Is that right? Oil palm? A tree? Plot device in brief. GPS? Is it plotting a course? Is that what it means? And starts a course with off. Starts a course. Why do I not see what that is? And here we have Winston Churchill gesture, the V sign. Winston Churchill, obviously World War II era prime minister, making the V for victory sign. And then I guess also photographed making a sort of ruder version of it. I've never known, was that intentional on his part? I've always assumed that was sort of naive on his part, and he didn't necessarily realize he was doing the ruder version of it, but I'm not sure. Anyways, stretch could be a while. You could have a stretch of time, a while, I think is probably what that is. And actor/activist Davis would be Ossie Davis. And so what is this? Oh, starts a golf course. So here we have two. So I was perfectly able to get sank a putt quickly, but I was not able to identify tees off as in starting a golf course. Until I had the whole thing crossed for me. Where you might see scrolling credits. Maybe IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. So the question mark here indicates a bit of pun or wordplay. It's a pretty minor bit of wordplay in this case, but it's saying don't think of the credits scrolling by on a film at the end of a film. Think of scrolling a website on the Internet Movie Database. I think that's what that means. Left-leaning organizing group, the Democratic National Committee, I suppose. And so that's obviously an American political reference. Like pronounced muscles. Bulgy or bulky? What about this? Quickly join hands. And the question mark, so a pun or bit of wordplay. A clap. If you literally quickly join your hands together, you may produce the sound of a clap. Covers for campers could be tarps, tarpaulins. Big, often blue, I suppose. I wonder why tarpaulins are often blue, but they do seem to be. Sort of crinkly, rough paper to prevent rain and that sort of thing from getting on you. Eats could be grub. And so maybe pronounced muscles are bulgy. Maybe that's what that is, bulgy. Not really a word I have seen used very frequently in that form, but fair enough. Tundra or savanna. So each of those is a biome, a kind of type of ecosystem and environment. And because it's an or clue, you want to make sure you're not trying to think of plural words. It would be easy to see, I think, tundra or savanna and think, okay, it's a tundra, savanna. And this is plural, and so I'm going to think of a four-letter word with an S at the end. But because it's an or, we're only referring to either one of them. So it's singular. Okay, like Hathor, goddess of motherhood, Egyptian. Hathor, one of the Egyptian gods. And nickname in Star Wars, Annie, I guess, Anakin Skywalker, so called in the prequel films. Country code for Holland in the Olympics. Well, Holland is the Netherlands. Is it NLD, maybe? I think I have seen that abbreviation used for the Netherlands. NLS, maybe? NED, maybe? Maybe it's NED, Netherlands, because I think it would be closer to that in Dutch. Oh, yeah. Primitive time would be Stone Age. Is this? Oh, I thought maybe this was one of the gray clues. I was trying to think, what on earth could you turn age into that would work after stone? No, it's just Stone Age. It's not one of those. Supermodel Lima, I'm not sure. Like many a beta release. It might mean beta software, so unfinished software, but it might mean something else. Beta rays or something like that. Fabric in a flat cap. Fabric in a flat cap. And feature of a healthy dog. A wet nose, right? And so, yes, this is a theme clue. So, wet nose. Wet. What can we spell? Oh, wet ones. Wet ones? It's the only word I can think of that'll fit here. Unless you spell Enos, which is someone's name, which I don't think will be the case. Wet ones. What does that mean? Oh, is that a product name, maybe? I think that might be a brand name. So it's not quite as tidy as some of the rest of these, which are spelling generalized phrases or concepts. But I think that is something. That's just awful. One end of a cell. Blank circus. A media circus. Sometimes if a, I don't know, politician or a celebrity or something is sort of swamped or there's a scandal, you could have a sort of media circus surrounding it. To now could be as yet, I suppose. As yet, we've solved about half of this puzzle. Roll Tide School. This is something I know from crosswords. Bama. I think Alabama. One of their chants is roll tide. I don't entirely know what that means, but I do think I've encountered that before. That's just awful. Could be boo, I suppose. And one end of a cell. Oh, it could be one end of a cell as in a battery, that sort of cell. So it could be an anode at one end of the battery. And film character who shouts, "You are a toy." Well, it must be Woody, the cowboy character from Toy Story. And then, fabric in a flat cap is tweed. Yes, that would be it. I was wondering if maybe flat cap was being used in some kind of misdirected way, even though it doesn't have a question mark. I was thinking maybe it doesn't mean the flat cap, the hat type, but it turns out it did. And it's just looking for tweed, which is indeed a common material for that sort of cap. What about this? Birthplace of three major world religions. The Middle East, but in this case it won't be the Middle East, it'll be the middle seat on an airplane, I suppose. So there we go, or the back of a car. Supermodel Lima, still don't know that. Like many a beta release. Uber offering would be a ride, I suppose. That's straightforward enough. And tackles could be sets on. Oh, we just hit the halfway mark. Look at that. I think I often don't notice when that happens. Maybe I noticed it this time because I specifically said we were about halfway through, which I guess we weren't yet. Leprechaun's home. Could be Aaron. Or Ira for Ireland. Each of those could be for Ireland. Don't know which yet. Idaho with the something state, probably. The I don't know. Let's see if state fits there. Class could be a tier. Could have a tier of quality, a class of quality. And face planted could be ate it. So this is looking correct. As in fell on the ground face first. Class. Oh, here's another class. And here we have reaction reducer. Reaction reducer. A chemical reaction? What kind of reaction? Norse pantheon. I don't know. And here we have birthplace of Zeus. Why do I not see what any of these things are? Oh, why did I say 8 in? 8 it. Sorry, Crete. Okay, that makes more sense. So what about this and this? What an agoraphobe avoids. An agoraphobe doesn't like big spaces, right? Because a claustrophobe doesn't like small spaces. Open space? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it looks like Leprechaun's home is Erin, and then Idaho is the what state? Don't know. Goo state, probably not that. 2/5 of a quarter. 2/5 of a quarter. Is this a mathematical question, or are we looking for something else? What does this mean? 2/5 of a quarter. What, that's a tenth, right? What does that mean? Oh, a dime. Oh, a dime. A tenth. Oh, I see. So a quarter of a dollar is 25 cents, and a tenth of a dollar is a dime in the U.S. currency system, obviously. But if I had read this as quarter being a coin initially, maybe I would have arrived at dime rather than tenth. Anyway, that's that. Gem state, Idaho, the gem state. Maybe there are precious gems mined in Idaho. I have no idea actually. NFL star blank Beckham Jr. Not sure, but it looks like it could be Odell. That would be a name that would fit here, I suppose. Group email greeting. Oh, you could say hi all. So that could be Odell. I don't know if that would be spelled with 2 L's or an E-L-E at the end. But what if we put O in here? Fish with a prehensile tail. So a tail that can be used for grasping. A sea something? A sea horse? Right. So, seashore. Oh, that's good. Seahorse can be turned into seashore. That's a fun one. And E is in the same position for whatever good it does to know that. Australia's city of light. It must be Perth. I don't know that I necessarily knew that, but Perth, it does seem like it has to be Perth to fit the crosses. Classrooms with cameras for short. An AV lab, maybe, audio-video lab. And relishes could be savors. You really relish doing the crossword. You savor it. A fjord, e.g., would be a geographical feature. Geographical, I guess both in a way. An inlet. Fjord's the little sort of fractal-like craggy bits on coastlines. And then Beyonce to Solange informally. Is that how you say her name, Solange? Sister. So yes, Beyonce and Solange Knowles. I've at least heard of them, so I'm not completely hopeless. Instagram hashtag accompanying a nostalgic photo. TBT, think back to, I think people sometimes say. Oops. And then what is this? Executes perfectly. Does to a T. You really execute something perfectly. You do it to a T. Fill out the crossword without a single mistake. I have other blanks, sorry. I have other plans, sorry. And name akin to Agnes. Inez, I suppose, seems like it would be the Spanish equivalent of Agnes, so that's probably right. And then looks long and hard could be gazes, so that seems to verify that suspicion. And female figure in the Iliad. Is it Hera? And it would make sense. She's one of the major gods, one of the major Greek gods. And then show vanity in a way would be to preen over your appearance, for instance. Dash figure would be miles per gallon. And advances in a baby's cognitive development would be mental something. Let's look at the crosses. Twitch users bane. So Twitch is an online streaming service, so maybe lag would be their bane. That makes sense. And, a class could be a genre. So a class of stories, for instance, genre of stories. Does that work? Reaction reducer. An EpiPen. Ah, right. So an EpiPen used for, what is it? Is it an allergic reaction? You think I would know this, wouldn't you? And then advances in a baby's cognitive development would be a mental lapse. So what is the thing it was originally? Mental... wait, why don't I see what this is? Sorry. Okay, it would end with an S. Sorry, this is strange that I can't come figure this out. Mental, I'm just putting letters in a random order. Mental leaps. I had to make, I completely failed to make the mental leap to figure out what that was going to be. Okay, so anyway, the rest of it looks like it's filled in. Oh, and the Norse pantheon, the Aesir. That sort of looks familiar, but I wouldn't have gotten it without the crosses. Okay. Oh, Supermodel Lima. Adriana, maybe, or something like that? I'm not sure. That's so. Oh, that's so. Is it? And like many a beta release, oh, glitchy. There could still be bugs in the software. And many mainframes could be IBM's. The mainframe computer could be manufactured by IBM. We don't really use the term mainframe anymore, do we? Now that we all carry incredibly powerful processing devices around with us all the time, there isn't really as much need to distinguish between the concept of a mainframe and a terminal, I suppose. Though I don't really know enough about that whole world to know how those things are distinguished. Anyway, demonology and such. Black arts, maybe? The black arts, but we're going to... Black star would be our anagram, I bet. Black star. I bet that's it. So let's check the crosses. Tackles, so it could be sets on, which I think is what I guessed earlier. Number between sette and nove. It'll be 8. Am I confident enough to take a stab at that? I don't think I am. Let's get some crosses. Some petting zoo noises could be baws or maws, depending on the animal and how you phrase it. It's not light reading. A tome is not light reading, so maws. So you can have, I guess, what a lamb would maybe make that sound. I think that's often what you'd associate with a lamb. Seaside bird would be an ern. And this is one of those things where this does come up in crosswords from time to time, and you should just remember it. Just remember that this is a seaside bird that comes up from time to time, I think. Unless my answer is incorrect, in which case, don't remember it. Cocktail often made with Tennessee whiskey, ironically. A Manhattan. Oh, the Manhattan is a great cocktail. I've not had a Manhattan in a while. Blind sight. Blind sight. And this does look like Adriana or Adrienne, maybe Adrienne. And here we have comic pen. Cal Penn is a comic actor. And Otto, I suppose this is 8. And then not get tense. Stay loose. How about that? So what else did we have? Tackles. Sets 2. So I'm glad I didn't put in sets on. So you tackle a problem. You set to it. And I suppose that's what that is, as opposed to tackling a person physically. Is there anything else we didn't see? Oh, blind sight, slat. Oh, I see. So something you see in blinds. You could have slatted blinds over a window. Okay. So what about this? Transition could be merge. You could transition. Oh, no, it doesn't fit. Never mind. Sorry. Transition. Angle? Doesn't seem right. Don't think that's right. Let's check some more crosses. Scatterbrained. Ditzy, maybe? The Arthur Ashe Courage Award and others. So Arthur Ashe was a tennis player. Are these ESPYs maybe? Which is another thing I know about from the crossword, which were awards bestowed by the television sports network ESPN. And they have the ESPY Awards. Does that help? Scatterbrained, I mean, I could believe this would end in SY. What about this? Transition. I don't know. So this is going to be plural in some way, though, because it does say and others. So it's not just the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. It's several examples of this thing. Fertile mixtures. Could be loams, so fertile soil, maybe. And educator Khan, who founded Khan Academy. I think Khan Academy is some kind of video-based educational series or something. but I probably have heard this name, but I can't remember, so I'm not going to put in Loams until I can confirm or deny it. You might come to one suddenly. An idea of some sort, so maybe we have to rearrange idea over there. Let's go back up to the top of the puzzle and just work through. Because we never did that, actually, I'm just realizing. We did our vertical swaths, our diagonal swaths through the puzzle, but never just went through the standard clues up here. Treat that's dangerous to fillings. Well, it's not Oreos, because I think that would have to be treats. It has cameras set up around the house, and house is capitalized. So is this referring to the House of Representatives and the United States legislature, maybe? I'm not sure. Novelist Zola, Emile Zola. Word with box or gloves. Well, let's look at Emile here. Tantalize could be tempt. I get a little fragment of my first guess, temptress, from the beginning of this puzzle. That's blank. When many commutes begin. Based on that one I there, I'm going to guess 9 a.m. is the answer. In this case, converse or converse. So it could be converse as in have a conversation, or it could be converse as in conversely, on the other hand, that meaning of converse. Blank haw, yee-haw, I suppose. And treat that's dangerous to fillings. Why do I not see what that is? And then here we have, I haven't seen this yet. Bit of cinema decor. My brain keeps looking at these letters and thinking mise en scène, but that's obviously not the answer. So does it mean a cinema, a theater, or does it mean decor inside a film, inside a work of cinema? I'm not sure. What about this? Get ready for dinner. You could prep to start making dinner. That's smart. Oh, not what I was looking at this a moment ago. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, maybe it's not. Doesn't look. Nothing. None of the crosses look good with that. Puts the pedal to the metal. Steps on it, or oh, do many commutes begin at 9 p.m.? Because steps on it would fit if that were 9 p.m., which would be a less common time for a commute to begin. What about this? Valuable deposits could be ores, and bog-like could be miry. You're mired in a bog, and so it's very miry. I don't like that at all. I wonder if that's really the answer. Skater Harding, Tanya Harding, big. There was actually, speaking of media circuses, that was a huge media circus from the 1990s, I suppose. Okay, man-eaters. Man-eaters. What about this? Converse or converse. So the converse. So it is converse, meaning conversely, on the other side, on the flip side. Oops, I misspelled this. There we go. Although this looks strange. Now, treat that's dangerous to fillings. 9 p.m. no longer seems correct. 5 p.m., sorry. I didn't ever consider 5, even though it was a perfectly plausible fill, because I was thinking of a commute beginning in the morning. But it's true that your commute, I suppose, also begins in the late afternoon or evening when you go home. Okay, treat that's dangerous to fillings is taffy. Could pull a filling out, I suppose. Ugh. And, oh, that's amore. So from the song, When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big Pizza Pie, that's amore. So a bit of cinema decor, movie something. Well, that doesn't help. Cinema is already movie, so that doesn't give me anything. Man-eaters. Oh, favorite dog breed of Queen Elizabeth II would be corgi. That came up recently in a puzzle. I think the Queen has stopped acquiring corgis, I suppose, due to her age, I believe. Okay. Man-eaters. Ogres. There we go. So beasts from fairy tales. Blank the Frog, internet meme. I hate that I know this, but it's Pepe the Frog. God with a helmet. Ares, the god of war. And rapper with the platinum albums, Street's Disciple and God's Son. I'm going to guess this is Nas. So in the same way that the ode is the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword. I think NAS is the official wrapper of the New York Times crossword because it just has these incredibly useful common letters in a short form, just like how Ode has some very useful common letters in a short form. Oh, it has cameras set up around the house. So it is the House of Representatives, and it's C-SPAN, which is a cable network in the United States, cable television network in the United States that broadcasts legislative sessions and things from Congress. Okay, word with box or gloves. Oh, opera box or opera gloves. You could have opera gloves, the very formal bit of formal dress, and then an opera box, so one of the side boxes in an opera house. Where bats and birdies are found. Sports something? Oh, movie trope. Bit of cinema decor is movie tropes. So what was the original thing? Movie. Boy. Suddenly I've gotten very bad at doing these. I was doing better before. So we had movie tropes, and movie. Oops, what am I doing? Movie. So I'm just putting things in to try and jog my brain into a useful direction. I'm very sorry if you've seen all these instantly and are just screaming at me at the moment. What is it? Boy, that's frustrating. Movie. I do a movie poster. There we go. Ugh, that was annoying. Sorry. I've been, as I've mentioned, I think a couple of times on the channel, I've been doing cryptic crosswords much more frequently recently, and often anagrams will be involved in solving cryptic crosswords. And I don't think I have a great brain for jumping straight to anagram. Maybe it just takes practice. I have no idea. I don't know if it's one of those things that some people are better attuned to, or if it just takes practice. Probably a little bit of both, as with many things. But I often find myself just typing out or writing out the letters in a random order and seeing if it jogs my brain at all. Anyway, where bats and birdies are found. So I mean, those are both sports terms, but I'm not sure what this is looking for. You might come to one suddenly, a dead end, dead stop. It could be dead stop, I guess. Dead post. Not sure. Scatterbrained, right. So this does look like ditzy, actually. What about this? Imitation. Could be apiary. Oh, so maybe this is dead stop, and then the anagram is dead spot? Is that something? Sort of an area that isn't functioning properly. Shot, so to speak. A tablespoon, maybe? A shot of something? Not sure. Fertile mixtures. Oh. Is this loams that I saw before, or is this a second clue of fertile mixtures? Why did I delete it if I put it in there? Maybe I didn't have enough crosses. I hope I'm not putting loams in the crossword twice. Is it somewhere else? I cannot remember, and I can't see it. So what about this? Educator con. Sal or Mal or... I don't know. I'm not really confident about any of these things, to be honest with you. Loams I'm the most confident about of what I have here. Oh, although that Y from imitation, if that were apiary, this could be SBs. And it's okay. So this were dead spot. Word on the street is I hear. Okay, it's actually coming together. So, oh. Not sure what's going on. Sorry about this. Partner of dark. Stormy, dark and stormy. Both the description of a dark and stormy night, but also the name of a drink. So shot, so to speak. Oh, try. I see. Have a try, have a shot. It's your try, your shot. So this is dead spot. This is dead stop and dead spot. And then, sports shop, I guess. Okay, it's the most straightforward version of that, really. And then Salcon, I suppose. Oh, is the puzzle not done? Oh, no, it's not. I never filled this in. Sorry, transition is a segue. All right, well, there's a good segue to completing the puzzle. G or K is thou. Why? Why is it thou? G or K? Is it right? It is. Sorry, what is... Hey, look at that streak. 1111, 1111. Sorry, what is... Oh, a thousand. I see. So a G, as in a grand, 1,000, or K, as in kilo, the metric prefix for 1,000. I see. So G or K is a 1,000. There we go. All right. Well, that ended up being quite a poor segue from completing the puzzle into the puzzle recap section of this video. All right, so there we go. Let's look over our ordering seconds clues. So we never had a revealer, didn't really need one. We just figured out what was going on. I suppose in a Sunday puzzle, the title often sort of serves as a retrospective revealer. So we had unwavering, we had rock solid become rock idols. Here we had movie poster become movie tropes. Here we had power trips become power strip. Here we had dead stop become dead spot. Here we had oil lamp become oil palm. Peanut gallery become peanut allergy. I think this one's incredible. It's my favorite, and I'm glad it's right in the middle of the puzzle. I think it's very impressive. Here we had wet nose become wet ones. Probably my least favorite, but that's fine. These were all pretty good. Here we had seahorse become seashore. Here, Middle East became middle seat. Mental leaps became mental lapse. I had a bit of a mental lapse trying to make this mental leap. And finally, black arts became black star. There we go. Very, very clever. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. 11 of these identified and successfully integrated into the puzzle by David W. Tufts. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, I would say. Yeah, well done. I enjoyed that. And are they symmetric? No, they're not symmetrical in terms of the letter counts. That would be a little much to ask for. But which I mean, Rock Idols is in a symmetrical position to Black Star. I mean, they are symmetrically positioned. The clues are symmetrically disposed in the sense that if you were to rotate the puzzle 180 degrees, the theme clues would be in the same position. What isn't symmetrical is how long each of the shaded words is. That's not symmetrical. This one's Rock Idols is 5 and Black Star has 4. It doesn't matter. I was just curious. But they are symmetrically positioned, and that's the thing that really matters for nice, tidy crossword construction. Yeah. It's harder to see it because the shaded bits aren't symmetrical, but the total clue is. So if you see Middle East and Power Strip, those total answers are in symmetrical positions, even though the shaded bits aren't. And that was necessary, obviously, because ordering seconds, the theme is that the second word is the one that is modified. Anyway, good solid puzzle, I think. Not too many. I don't think there was too much ridiculous crossword ease in here. So, yeah, a good Sunday puzzle. Took almost 40 minutes. This is how it goes when talk through a Sunday puzzle on one of these videos. It does take a while, I find. So, hope you enjoyed that. And let's get on to some clues from yesterday's puzzle. So actually, on the note of sort of obscure crosswordese or difficult terminology, Liz Fitz, I think, reflected the opinion of several people, perhaps, when she said, this one had a lot of weird trivia and terminology, autoclave, stoolies, clam bakes, gerunds, that made this nearly impossible for me as someone born after 2000. Really grateful for your videos and the clue explanations. So thanks, Liz, for reminding me of my age, but also thank you for your kind comments. And yeah, autoclave, it's pretty specific knowledge, I would say, in particular. Stoolies is sort of dated slang, so on its way out, I would say. Yeah, probably a bit more jargony than you sometimes get yesterday, although I suppose if that's going to happen, it'll be on a Saturday. Okay, I couldn't recall what TMZ stands for, the website. And Lena McKay explains the TMZ is the 30-mile zone around a point in Hollywood inside of which actors have to pay for their own transportation to the filming location, and outside of which the production company has to provide transportation. There we go. I have learned that before. I did know that. Definitely didn't remember it. So thank you, Lena, for reminding me. Okay, and Any Prophet says, I think of ad slogan as a general term. It's just a phrase that gets repeated across ads. It can be spoken or sung, like a jingle. And the clue was, jingle, say, or something, and it was ad slogan. And I take your point, Any Prophet. The reason I was quibbling is because of the order that it was coming in. It was saying a jingle, for instance, is an ad slogan, but a jingle isn't an ad slogan. It contains an ad slogan. So a jingle to me isn't an ad slogan, but an ad slogan can be a jingle, if you see what I mean. So it's just the order it was going struck me as somewhat iffy, but I think perhaps I'm making a distinction without a difference. I don't know. Anyway, Old Fooder says, I find it quite surprising that slogan, speaking of that, comes from two Scots Gaelic words meaning clan war cry. Slagarm is army plus cry. Turns into slogan. That's amazing. I definitely didn't know that. So thank you for that etymological point of interest. And that's all I had from yesterday's puzzle. So thank you for joining me for this long Sunday solve. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back tomorrow for the much quicker, much easier, much simpler Monday puzzle. Another themed puzzle, but probably less to puzzle out than this one. I hope you join me. Until that point, do subscribe to the channel. Do subscribe to the channel. I have to remember to say that every time. Thank you to everybody who has done so. All right, I will be back tomorrow. I hope you will as well. And until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.